Hi guys, it's Richard here, aka the Long Shot King from the Cheltenham Festival blog, and it's 8 PM on Monday evening, and it's the lull before the storm. I'm sure you're looking forward to the Cheltenham Festival as much as I am, and what I wanted to do was just to give you my selections for day one of the Cheltenham Festival. And I think it's going to be an absolutely cracking good festival this year. There are some fantastic races, and I'm really looking forward to it. So let's get on to Tuesday, and the first race of the day is the Supreme Novices Hurdle, and of course Dunguib is a very strong favourite. I think at the moment it's trading at around about even money. The bookies seem to be coming back and trying to get it, but I'm not so sure about Dunguib. Of course, you know, it was very impressive last year in the Cheltenham Festival bumper, won very easily by 10 lengths. And this season, of course, has been unbeaten and won all of its races very easily on the bridle. But I think that the issue with Dunguib could be its jumping at pace. You know, in a race like the Supreme, where we're going to have 18 runners, it could be a situation whereby the pace is much quicker than what it's been running this season, and its jumping could find it out. Now, the one that I've backed myself, which I backed earlier in the season, I was very fortunate to get 260 on Betfair, and that is Get Me Out of Here. Now, I think that Get Me Out of Here has an outstanding chance in the Supreme. The thing I like about the horse is it's got very good tactical speed, as it showed in the Tote Gold Trophy, and it's now got a handicap mark of 150, which I think it can still improve upon, so it has to have a solid chance. The other thing that makes me feel that Get Me Out of Here has a solid chance is that John Joe O'Neill and JP McManus had the opportunity to run it in the Neptune. They had the opportunity to run it in one of the handicaps, but they've chosen the Supreme. So for me, Get Me Out of Here, at the odds of around about 5-1, it's showing today, Monday, I think that's a pretty solid bet. The second race of the day is the Arkle, and this is probably one of the best renewals of the Arkle that I've seen in many years. The Irish have a very strong contingent in the race, with Captain CB, with Sizing Europe, with Asana, and also Sportsline. Now, if you look at the race earlier in the season where Sizing Europe won and Captain CB fell at the last, I think a lot of people that day felt that Captain CB would have won the race anyhow, and I have to agree with that. And that race really is very solid 2-mile novice chase form. I think probably the strongest race that we've seen this season. But I think that there's one lurking in the field there that has a really solid each-way chance at a big price, and that one's Kangaroo Court. Now, Kangaroo Court won a couple of novice chases earlier in the season and then was put away. The trainer, Emma Lavelle, made it really clear that she was only going to run the horse at the Cheltenham Festival if the ground was on the good side. Otherwise, they would wait and they would go to Aintree. Now, I think that it's very key that she's chosen to take her chance in a race as hot as the Arkle at Cheltenham. And Kangaroo Court can still be backed at 25-1. So I think as an each-way bet, Kangaroo Court is outstanding value. It's a really big, rangy type of a horse. And whatever it did over hurdles, it was always going to improve over fences. So I think this one could be good value. The third race on the card is the William Hill Trophy Handicap Chase. Ultra competitive race. It looks like there's going to be 24 runners go to post. And I think that there's one lurking down the bottom of the handicap that has an outstanding chance, and that one is Oggy, or Oggy. Now, Oggy ran really well last season over hurdles, ran its first race this season in a Class 2 handicap hurdle, and was giving lots and lots of weight away. And was beaten by a horse called Elzahan, who looks like it's going to run in one of the handicap hurdles this week. Oggy then went on to win its next couple of races, novice chases, and was then pitched in at the deep end against Long Run and Tasbar at Kempton. And of course, Long Run is a is a monster of a horse, and I think that Oggie's run there behind that and also behind Tasbar really showed it to be an improving horse. It's come out again since then and won very comfortably, and I think off of a mark that is putting it close to 10 stone, Oggie has a great chance. And at the odds of around about 11 to 1, I think, that you can get still today, I think Oggie is very good value. Next race on the card is, of course, the Champion Hurdle, and this is a really great race. I think for me it's the most fascinating race of the festival. Go Native is the favourite, and a worthy favourite, has won the Fighting Fifth and the Christmas Hurdle at Kempton, and is of course going for the WBX £1 million bonus. But for me, I think last season's winner, Punjabi. I think that Nicky Henderson has got the horse trained to the minute. It's been brought along. Okay, it only won a Mickey Mouse race last time out at Kempton. But the significant thing for me is that Barry Geraghty has chosen it over Zaino, and for me Punjabi at 6 to 1 is very good value. I can see Celestial Halo making the running again. I can see it even leading again to the last, but I think this time Punjabi will come and take it again, but be a more convincing winner. So Punjabi, I think at 6 to 1 for the Champion Hurdle is pretty good value. In the next race, it's the Ender Bolger benefit race, or what is known as the cross country, and Ender Bolger has a 5-strong hand in the race, and of course he has Garchon Pet, the favourite, and Lamy, the second favourite. But I think that this year we could see a little bit of a surprise, and I think there's going to be a new story to this race, and of course that horse is a new story. Now, the interesting thing about a new story is the last couple of times it's run in very ultra competitive handicap hurdles. It's run very well. It finished 5th the time before last, and last time finished 4th of 21 over 2 mile free. Running on very well at the end, only beaten 2.5 lengths. And I think the key thing about this one is it's been running over hurdles to protect its chase handicap mark. It's got a very low weight tomorrow, and it's been running consistently well all season. And I think at the odds available of 40 to 1, I think a new story is tremendous each way value tomorrow in the cross country. The final race of the day is the David Nicholson Mares Hurdle, and basically it looks like a two horse race on the betting with Pravega and Vola La Vedette. Of course, Vola La Vedette is unbeaten this season. Pravega has not run for a long while and has had an injury scare. So over the last few days, the favourites have flip-flopped. Vola La Vedette has been backed quite heavily the last few days and is now into favouritism for the race. But the one I like in the race, from an each way perspective again, is Zaranava, and this one can be backed at 16 to 1. Only beaten 2.5 lengths by Vola La Vedette in Ireland the time before last, and has since come out and won a race after that. But in the Irish race, it came there and seemed to get there, but stayed on just at the one pace. Now, it was receiving, I think, £5 from Vola La Vedette that day, but I think that the heel will help it, and I think that in a race where there's not very much outside of the first two, I think Zaranava's pretty decent value at 16 to 1. So there you go. So day one of the festival. For the Supreme, it's Get Me Out of Here. For the Arkle, it's Kangaroo Cool, around about 25 to 1 each way. For the William Hill Trophy Handicap Chase, I'm going for Oggie at around the 11 to 1 mark. In the Champion Hurdle, Punjabi to do the double at around 6 to 1. And in the cross country, as I said, Big Price News Story at 40 to 1 each way. And in the last, Zaranava again, should be around about the 16 to 1 mark, and probably going to have a small bet on that each way. And I'll be putting them all together as well in an each way Hines, just for the fun of it. So there's my selections for day one. I hope that you know, a couple of them win. I hope that you know, you have a good day tomorrow and you manage to pick a few winners. And watch out tomorrow, and I'll bring another video where I'll be looking at Wednesday's races. Okay, thanks a lot, guys, and have a good day. See you now.